Hi guys, are some people in the Conservative Party finally growing a spine, or is it all political opportunism? So Tom Tugendhat, who is currently running to replace Rishi Sunak as party leader, attacked the Labour government's leadership in response to the riots, and singled out Jess Phillips, who appeared to be excusing a group of masked Muslim men who were brandishing knives following rumours that a mosque in their area was about to be attacked. But the surprising aspect of this speech is where Tugendhat chastised Nigel Farage for undermining the police with misinformation. Has at least one Tory grown a spine?
After the attack on those little girls in Southport, Nigel Farage claimed the truth is being withheld from us. Later, he justified amplifying this false information by saying he had believed influencers like Andrew Tate and chose to condemn the breakdown of law and order preceding the riots, but not the riots themselves. Now, I want to be clear, this is not leadership. It is deeply irresponsible and dangerous. Later, when gangs of masked men gathered in Birmingham brandishing weapons and, live on camera, threatened female journalists and attempted to slash the tyres of broadcast vans, Jess Phillips, a Home Office minister, chose to justify their behaviour instead of condemning it. Because these were not far-right hooligans, but young Muslim men. One man attacked by these vigilantes ended up in hospital. This was a failure of leadership just as surely as that of Nigel Farage. And it is not the only failure of leadership by Keir Starmer's government over these last 2 weeks.
Okay, so of course he's going to attack Keir Starmer's government. That's, he's a Tory, he's going to do that. But what's interesting is that he called out Nigel Farage here. For so long, the Conservatives have been deeply afraid, completely terrified of Nigel Farage. Completely spineless when it comes to criticising Nigel Farage. So what has changed? Have they suddenly grown a spine? It's possible. Highly unlikely. What's more likely is that Farage's mojo has disappeared. See, Farage, since these riots have taken place, has been very careful about walking a very narrow line between inciting violence and criticising politicians or criticising the rioters. So he's been very careful about his language since the riot. And for a period during the riots themselves, he was completely silent, maintaining radio silence for a few days there. So Farage obviously has come in for a lot of criticism over this, and the Tories perhaps feel now they can criticise him. He's no longer the threat that he was before, which is sad, because they should have been criticising him from the very beginning. And I'm not talking about the riots, I'm talking about since 2015, before Brexit. The Conservatives have constantly been afraid of Nigel Farage, about what he can do. He can siphon votes away from them, and of course they're running to him as soon as he mentions the word immigration. He says, jump, they say how high. And perhaps some of that has changed. Now, Tom Tugendhat is the only one who's come out, but perhaps more will also, because Farage has been damaged by this. His core support remains, but if Farage wants to take over the Conservative Party, if he wants to invite people over to Reform UK from the Conservative Party, or if he wants to lead the Conservative Party in the future, he needs to win over moderates. And even Conservative voters have been completely turned off by Nigel Farage over the riots. Now, time will perhaps heal that wound, but I think a significant amount of damage has been done to his reputation, especially with the people that he needs to win over if he wants to become leader of the Conservative Party in the future. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.